Hello everyone, this is Amir from FRAMINGSTOry. Today I'll show some macro gear setup. Some are regular macro gear setup and some are extreme macro gear setup, and with their cost, and finally I will compare with the result of those macro setup. Macro lighting is variable from person to person. This is my macro lighting setup. This is torchlight, regular torchlight, and some are flash. And this is the lighting setup for today. This is two light setup. One is torchlight and another one is fixed light, and that is Godex fixed light. Today I will use coin to experiment our macro setups, and we will compare the result also. At first we will try with a regular macro lens, and this really old Sigma macro lens. We'll see the outcome of this lens, and you can also see the light setup for this. In a few seconds we'll see the output of result from this lens. This is regular extension tube, and you can use it with any lens or any camera. Always try to get a autofocus extension tube, so your job will be easier. This is how I am doing macro photography with extension tube, and cost of this setup total around $100. Now we will see result of this setup or lens. It's look good on the back display. Now we will see the final result. This is multifunctional extension tube, or you can call it reverse adapter ring. This work auto mode and manual mode. I really like this gear. This is really cool. We have to be patient for good micro photography, and cost of this setup also around $100. Now we'll see the result of this setup. And finally, super macro lens. The result of this macro lens pretty awesome, and this is combination of few elements. Now we'll see those elements. Initially this is the 40mm lens and auto extension tube, multifunctional extension tube, and finally step up adapter ring. I bought this 40mm lens as second hand. You can buy second hand lens from Amazon or any local source. You have to buy step up ring to adjust with lens. For all lens you don't have to buy step up ring. You don't have to buy any adapter ring for 58, 67, 72, 70mm lens mount, because I am using with 40mm and this is 52, so I had to buy this step up ring. Now I will attach with multifunctional adapter ring. You can use it in front or middle, multiple way you can use it. This is really easy to attach with lens. And this also work auto function. Now we'll attach with extension tube. You can use only 36 mm or any individual part. For extreme you can use all together. Now we'll attach with our multifunctional adapter. So our initial part is done. Now we'll attach with camera. Initially I made this lens for Canon camera, and this really work good with Canon camera. This is how does it look with Canon, but you can use this setup with any branded camera. Just you can use this setup with adapter, or you have to buy these particular parts to target with your branded camera like Nikon or Sony. I'm just using this setup with Canon camera and Sony camera. For Sony I am using a adapter to adjust with Canon mount, and this is working pretty good. I'm using 40 mm lens to make it lightweight, because you have to adjust so light for macro photography, and it is really good if it is weight is light. So cost of this setup is around $150 if you buy a second-hand 40 mm Canon lens. This is pretty good setup for macro photography, and this is very lightweight. Now we'll do some macro photography with this super macro lens. How does it work? On back display, the result is pretty good, and this is really extreme. Now we'll see the result. So this is final comparison. You take decision which setup you will use. If you have any question, feel free to ask it. We'll try to reply it. We really appreciate if you hit the thumbs up button. Thank you for watching. See you in next tutorial.